The NASCAR Cup Series race officially concluded from Homestead Miami Speedway, and we see some unbelievable racing, a fantastic finish, and Tyler Reddick pulls off the last lap pass and locks his way into the Championship 4 with the win at Homestead. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. I just got done watching NASCAR Cup Series race from Homestead Miami Speedway, the Straight Talk Wireless 400. We have quite a bit to talk about from this race. Let's go and talk about it. So, before the green flag drop in today's race, Chris Buescher and Joey Logano would have to go to the rear of the field for unapproved adjustments. So at the start of the race, you had Tyler Reddick lead the field from the inside with Kyle Larson on the outside, and Tyler Reddick got a great start and was able to clear for the race lead. Meanwhile, trouble strike already on lap number 1 as Justin Haley spun in turn number 1 after contact from Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Justin Haley came down the racetrack going into turn number 3, thought he was clear, made a terrible move to the inside, and unfortunately, that would at the time take him out of contention. Just a big mistake by Justin Haley. He probably should get a new spotter at this point. So then on the restart, you had Tyler Reddick lead the field from the inside with Christopher Bell on the outside, and Christopher Bell got a fantastic start and was able to clear for the race lead. Meanwhile, we saw Kyle Larson trying to make a really big balls move to the inside, trying to make a move down to the bottom, but Tyler Reddick put a big block to the inside and blocked Kyle Larson. And then I believe Tyler Reddick was able to get that great run and was able to get the race lead back. Meanwhile, as Tyler Reddick continued to start pulling away from the field, Bubba Wallace got really sideways up right in front of Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin was able to save it, and Bubba was able to continue going. And then as the run continued on, we started seeing green flag pit stops. William Byron would come in first. Then the next lap, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Carson Osbar, Zane Smith, Josh Berry, all those guys would come in. Then the next lap, Kyle Larson, Bubba Wallace, Mark Truex Jr., Christopher Bell, Austin Dillon, those guys would come down. And then the next lap, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Chris Buescher came down. And then you saw some of the guys like Brad Keselowski, AJ Allmendinger, Kyle Busch, Todd Gillen, Joey Logano, Austin Center. Those guys all decided to stay out for a long time, with them all eventually coming down pit road. All of a sudden, as the run had continued on, Kyle Larson, one of the big contenders for the championship this year, he would run into trouble. Kyle Larson would get in the outside wall after having a flat right rear tire. He hit the outside wall, got a little bit of damage, and that unfortunately brought out the caution. The good news for Kyle Larson, he did not have enough damage. He would have a chance and opportunity to get back up in competition, but this would be another setback for the 5 team, as Larson did get a little bit of damage, but not too much. So then, we saw a little strategy. Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Austin Dillon, and Todd Gillen stayed out, while the rest leaders came down pit road. So then on the restart, you had Kyle Busch lead the field from the outside with Joey Logano on the inside, and Bubba Wallace shot out of the canyon and was able to get the race lead. And then, a couple laps later, Tyler Reddick got a really great run on Bubba Wallace and was able to pass him. And Tyler Reddick started driving away. He balled out to about a 3.5 to 4 second lead, and coming out the final corner, Tyler Reddick would come off the corner and win stage number 1. So then all the lap cars would come down pit road. Chris Buescher ended up spinning on pit road, blocking Kyle Larson's chance to get on pit road from contact from Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And unfortunately, Kyle Busch also got a penalty for a safety violation. He would have to go to the tail end of the longest slide. Meanwhile, Tyler Reddick was able to win the race off of pit road. Really big for Tyler Reddick. Reddick's picker was a little bit iffy, but I believe Tyler Reddick and Chase Elliott were really good, and those guys came off of pit road really well. So then on the restart, you had Ryan Blaney lead the field from the inside with Bubba Wallace on the outside, and Chase Elliott made a bonsai move to the inside and was able to pass for the race lead, and Chase Elliott started driving away from the field. And then green flag pit stop started once again. Ryan Blaney would come down pit road first. Then the next lap, William Byron, Ryan Preece came down pit road. Then the next lap, Alex Bowman, Joey Logano, and Daniel Suarez came in. And then Chase Elliott and Christopher Bell came in. And then all the leaders continued to come in. But on lap 123, Denny Hamlin came down pit road. And then Tyler Reddick came down the next lap. This would mean that Tyler Reddick would have fresher tires. Meanwhile, as the race continued on, you had all the spotters on the top of the tower basically dealing with a bee infestation that just came out of nowhere. And meanwhile, the racing started getting really good between Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott. They would battle back and forth for the race lead for the next 5 to 10 laps. Hamlin would try to make a move to the inside, couldn't get by Denny Hamlin, couldn't get by Chase Elliott, and Chase tried to hold on. But then eventually, Denny Hamlin, about 10 laps later, got a great run on Chase Elliott and was able to pass him for the race lead. He was able to start pulling away, and coming off the final corner, Denny Hamlin would come off there and win stage number 2. And then all the lap cars would come down pit road with Chase Elliott winning the race off pit road, followed by Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin. So then on the restart, you had Chase Elliott lead the field from the inside with Christopher Bell on the outside, and Christopher Bell got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the lead. But then the next lap, Chase Elliott, he got a fantastic run and was able to get the lead back with a hard charge from Ryan Blaney. And Chase Elliott would continue to lead over Ryan Blaney, but then on lap 187, Justin Haley spun in turn number 3 after contact from Ty Gibbs, as basically Ty Gibbs just sent him in the corner, was having some sort of brake issue and couldn't really steer the car, just runs to the back of Justin Haley. That would bring the caution out because of that. Just a bad day for Justin Haley. So then, all lead lap cars would come down pit road with Ryan Blaney winning the race off of pit road. And then on the restart, you had Ryan Blaney lead the field from the outside with Chase Elliott on the inside, and Ryan Blaney got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the race lead. And then as the run continued on, Ryan Blaney and Chase Elliott were really close to each other, but Ryan Blaney started pulling away. And then green flag pit stops would start once again. Chris Buescher would come down first. Then the next lap, Brad Keselowski, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Busch, and Austin Dillon came down pit road. And then the next lap, Josh Berry, Ryan Preece, Noah Gragson, those guys would come down pit road. And then William Byron came down pit road, and that started the main green flag pit stops. Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson would come down, then Ryan Blaney and Christopher Bell came down. Meanwhile, Denny Hamlin would stay out for a couple laps, but then he would come down pit road, and a bunch of guys also came down pit road as well. And Denny Hamlin's goal now was to try to catch Ryan Blaney. But all of a sudden, Kyle Larson did what he could to catch Ryan Blaney as well. Kyle Larson's car was really coming back to life and coming back, having one of the most incredible comebacks of the day, and Larson was starting to make some inroads. Meanwhile, Denny Hamlin continued to cut the gap down and was cut it down to 6 seconds, but unfortunately the new tires were starting to lose some of their newness, and Hamlin was running out of time to get there. Kyle Larson then, meanwhile, with a few laps to go in the race, he would desperately try to make the move on Ryan Blaney going into turn number 3 with Austin Dillon on the outside, and Kyle Larson, after a little bit of contact getting into Ryan Blaney, he would end up spinning out after trying to take the race lead from Blaney. He would end up spinning out, bringing out the final caution of the race. Larson made a little bit too aggressive move, in my opinion. That was unfortunately on Kyle Larson right there. I think it was a little bit too aggressive on Kyle Larson's end. It's a tough break for Larson, who was coming back just a little too aggressive. He probably should have waited a few more laps to make the move. Probably should have waited to a couple laps to go. So then, on the restart, on the next pit stops, we saw everyone come down pit road except Tyler Reddick, who had come down not too long prior. And Ryan Blaney would win the race off pit road, followed by Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, and Alex Bowman. Kyle Larson would have a terrible pit stop because they were fixing a diffuser flap on the car and would drop back to the tail end of the top 10. So then on the final restart, with 7 laps to go, you had Tyler Reddick lead the field from the outside with Ryan Blaney on the inside. And Denny Hamlin got a huge shot out of the canyon on the restart, made the move to the inside lane with Chase trying to follow as well. And he was able to get the race lead from Tyler Reddick. But Ryan Blaney and Tyler Reddick were not that far back, and they were starting to charge their way up to the front. They put on a really good show these last 5 to 6 laps. Blaney tried to make every bit of move possible to try to get around Denny Hamlin. Then he had Reddick trying to catch up there on the older tires because the old tires were not wearing out as much because only a couple laps older. And coming to 2 laps to go, Ryan Blaney would make the move to the inside, going down the back straightaway, and was able to pass Denny Hamlin for the race lead. And coming to the white flag, Tyler Reddick had a huge run on Ryan Blaney and tried to make the move to the outside and got by Denny Hamlin. They would all battle 3 of them for the race lead. And going down into turn number 3, Tyler Reddick makes a huge move to the outside lane and passes Ryan Blaney. And coming off the corner, Tyler Reddick comes back after flipping last weekend and wins from the pole and picks up his 4th win of 2024, or 3rd win, of 2024, and has locked his way into the Championship 4 with the win at Homestead. Oh my goodness, one of the most incredible finishes I think all year. We've seen some fantastic photo finishes, but those last 5 to 10 laps were absolutely amazing. You weren't sure who was going to end up winning the race. And Tyler Reddick comes out of it. What looked like it was going to be a bad gamble that was going to cost him a shot, they got the perfect gamble after Kyle Larson spun out, and Tyler Reddick gets it done. A great comeback from last week for the 45 team. They've shown the speed the last couple weeks, and a major win nonetheless for Tyler Reddick. Congratulations to him. Now they can focus on trying to win at Phoenix. They were pretty much in a must-win situation coming into today. They did an absolutely amazing job. Congratulations, of course, to Tyler Reddick on picking up his third win of 2024 and his 8th career NASCAR Cup Series win, a well-deserved win for the 45 team. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the race results, and I'll give my score and thoughts on today's race. So Tyler Reddick picks up the victory. Ryan Blaney finished second. So close to getting it done. Ryan Blaney had one of the strongest cars all day long, was up front all day, was in the capper seat before that caution came out for Kyle Larson, had a really great chance to get it done, so a really good day for the number 12 team. A good point stay nonetheless for the 12 team, but now they're pretty much going in as a must-win situation going into next week. So a great day though for Blaney. He finishes second. Denny Hamlin finished third. Hamlin almost had this race in the bag. It looked like he was going to have it on that restart, just lost it at the end. So one of the better runs Denny Hamlin's had in the second half of the year. A really great run for the number 11 team. He finishes in third. Solid day for him. Christopher Bell finishes fourth. Solid top 5 run for Bell. Didn't have the speed to contend today for the victory, but he did lead a couple laps early, was up front a ton of the day, gets a very solid top 5. Great day for Christopher Bell. Chase Elliott finishes 5th. Chase Elliott had one of the strongest cars all day, one of his best runs he's had so far this year. I think they made some bad adjustments that cost him a shot at the win. They were falling off near the end of the race. Still, one of the better runs Chase Elliott's had all year. A great day for him. He finishes in 5th. William Byron finishes 6th. A quiet day for Byron. Ran top 10 most of the race. Had really strong pace, but never had the speed to contend for the win. Still, a solid day for Byron. He finishes in 6th. Alex Bowman finished 7th. Quiet top 10 for Bowman, ran top 10 most of the race, had a solid run to get a top 10 finish. AJ Allmendinger finished 8th. We know Allmendinger is really good at Homestead. It just seems like the next-gen car and the 16 team can perform here. So a really solid day for AJ. Ran top 10 a ton of the event. A good run for AJ Allmendinger. Carson Osbar finished 9th. Want to give him a shout out. One of the big standouts of this race, in my opinion. The 77 car was so good at points. Was as far up as 3rd and 4th at one point. Just didn't have the pace to contend for the win. But Carson continues to impress me on a week-by-week basis. A great and incredible run for Carson. He finishes 9th. And Ryan Preece gets a top 10 in 10th place. How about that? The fastest SHR car at the end of the day. Really good day for Ryan Preece in 10th. Is still is looking for a ride going to 2025, though he'll likely end up in RFK. Josh Berry finished 11th, ran top 15, top 10 a ton of the day. A pretty solid run for the 4 organization. Chase Briscoe finished 12th. Thought he'd be better today, to be honest. He was really good in practice, but for whatever reason, he didn't make enough adjustments throughout the day. Just not the best day for them, but a solid run. He finished 12th. Kyle Larson finished 13th. From going to the back after the flat tire to being in contention to win, one of the biggest roller coaster days, in my opinion, of any driver. It looked like Larson was going to have a shot after all to go to victory. He just made that mistake. He still comes home with a top 15 finish, but unfortunately, because of Reddick winning, he is now below the cutoff line after having such a big gap. He was my pick coming to weekend. I thought he was going to have a chance to win. Just made that mistake at the end. He finished in 13th. Michael McDowell finishes in 14th. Not a bad day. Chris Buescher finishes 15th. Neil Swartz finishes 17th. Brad Keselowski with a solid day overall finishes in 17th. Bubba Wallace finished 18th. I don't know what happened to that 23 car, to be honest. They just lost the adjustments at the end. They do come on with a top 20, but I thought Bubba was definitely going to have a better day today than he did. He had really good speed early, got a ton of stage points as well, but they just lost handle on that car near the end. He finished 18th. 19th place finish for Noah Gragson. I expect more from Noah Gragson today, to be honest. He had really good speed in practice. They just never came out throughout the day. They never were able to recover. He does come home with a top 20, which is not bad, but I did expect more from Noah Gragson. And Todd Gillen finishes 20th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. finished 21st after qualifying well. He never showed it in the race today. Eric Jones finished 22nd. Mark Truex Jr., after having a really strong car early in the race, they lost the adjustments early. He finished 23rd. Harrison Burton finished 24th. Austin Dillon finished 25th. John Hunter Nemechek finished 26th. Austin Cindric finished 27th. Joey Logano finished in 28th. Focus on Phoenix at this point. Dan Heinrich finished 29th. Zane Smith finished 30th. I don't know what happened to the 71 car. He was really strong early in the race. They had some sort of issue to cost him a shot at a great finish. He finished in 30th. Kyle Busch finished 31st. A disappointing day. At this point, they're just focused on 2025. Just an awful run for Kyle Busch today. Kaz Grala finished 32nd. Ross Chastain, I don't know what happened to Chastain. He just never had the pace and speed. I thought he'd be a threat today. Just never showed up on the track. He finished 33rd. Justin Haley just had a disappointing day overall. He finished 34th. Corey LaJoie finished 35th. Ty Gibbs, after his issues, finished 36th. Chad Finchett finished 37th, and finishing last in 38th place is J.J. Yeley. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the playoff standings after the second race of the round of 8. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the playoff standings after today's race. So Joey Logano and Tyler Reddick, of course, are advanced to the next round. Christopher Bell is 29 points above the cutoff line, and William Byron is 7 points above. Kyle Larson is 7 points below. Denny Hamlin is 18 points below. Ryan Blaney's 38 below, and Chase Elliott's 43 points below. I think Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin have a mathematical shot. We know Larson's been really good here at Martinsville, so I think he's going to have a good chance. Ryan Blaney's also going to be fast, but he has to win. But Bell, I think, is looking solid going into the next race, but Byron has to run super good, and they were not that great here in the fall, so I think it's going to be really between Byron and Larson on who gets that final spot. So let's talk about this overall race as a whole and give you the score. This is one of the best races, I think, of 2024. From start to finish, the racing was absolutely incredible. You had great battles throughout the field, battles throughout the whole entire race. You really did not know who was going to win. Early in the race, it looked like Tyler Reddick was going to be the dominant car. Then Chase Elliott emerged, and he had a very, very fast car. Then Denny Hamlin emerged at the end of the race, and then Ryan Blaney emerged. And then Kyle Larson was coming back from his issues. He had a really good finish going on there, and he just has some of the most incredible and fun racing of 2024. For me, I really hope Homestead is a championship race in 2026, and they need to be going after it because, in my opinion, Homestead should be the season finale. I'm tired of going to Phoenix for the championship. I think it's time to make Homestead the season finale once again in 2026 because you're going to have a much better championship battle. In my opinion, the best next-gen race in Homestead so far. My score for today's race, this is a 9.8 out of 10. It wasn't completely perfect for me, but still just generally a really amazing race, a near perfect score. I'm giving today's race overall a 9.8 out of 10, just an absolute barn burner of a race at Homestead. So that is going to be it for the NASCAR Cup Series race review from Homestead Miami Speedway. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me through Facebook and Instagram and support my Patreon as well. Let's go below that and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. What are your thoughts on today's race? Let me know below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And congratulate Tyler Reddick on winning the race at Homestead. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Got a lot of great content dropping this week. We'll, of course, have some content tomorrow. We talk about the Chandler Smith news that came out very recently. We're also going to talk about probably Haley Dean Carl's other stuff this week as well. And probably Shane Van Gisbergen video is coming out very, very soon. Got a lot of great content dropping that I cannot wait for you guys to check out. We also, of course, will be telling you who I think will make the championship 4 later this week as well. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.